Okay, well, let's take stock at where we're at. We've been talking about, we're extending our understanding of three-point lighting. And we're doing it now by talking about practicals. In other words, can I achieve the same lighting results in camera with lights you find around the house? And the answer is yes and no, and I'm going to show you why. So a practical is a lamp, let's say, that is featured on camera, and we see it, and it's on and it's doing work, okay? This is a bedside table lamp, and I'm in a room where it might make sense for this kind of fixture to be lighting a character in a film. And the quality of it, the softness or hardness, the brightness, the color quality, if all of those things seem to agree with the script, and the art director and the director and the cinematographer can all agree on the applicability of that particular fixture, then we might go ahead and use it. I'm going to show you guys a website, the Roger Deakins podcast website, where you'll be able to listen to his most recent discussion about using practicals in feature films. And it can be done as long as we are mindful of the criteria that the three-point lighting scheme is asking us to consider when we have a lighting setup. So if I choose a lamp, for instance, to be my key light, is it able to provide exposure? Is it going to establish the color quality of my subject or the overall color quality of the shot? Is it going to give me shape and texture, tonal control over the image? So am I going to be able to influence the key light the way I might move a conventional around on a stage floor or on a location, and get the right shape and angle that I need for the audience reaction that I'm looking for from this particular character? If I can do these things, and I can control this fixture in a way that I can control any one of my other conventional units, then I see no harm in using the on-camera fixture as that lighting motivation. The thing that we have to insist on is control. So we can't walk into a situation and just sort of take what we're given. We have to go into a situation. If we're going to use this lamp, I need to be able to change the bulb if needs be. I need to be able to dim it if needs be. I need to be able to shape it and control it in ways that are going to maintain an adequate exposure. I'm not going to be overexposed. I'm not going to be too underexposed. In other words, I'm not going to be at any disadvantage by using this bedside table lamp than if I had used one of my conventionals. Okay, so the right tool for the right job. If I can do it with this lamp, I will. A lot of times it is a savings of time. Sometimes it takes the same amount of time. Now I'm going to show you what I did to this lamp in order to make it look good on camera, because there were some things that were wrong that weren't going to allow me to take what I consider to be a good exposure. So I have a monitor. I can look and I can see what my results are. I have a bedside table lamp. I have a floor lamp across the room that I'm sort of using as a little bit of fill. As the light interval went down in this room, in other words, as the sun outside got darker and darker, I had to add some supplemental fill across the room by taking one of my conventionals and just popping it into the ceiling. That's okay. In earlier takes of this video, when the light level in the room was still higher because there was light coming in from the windows, I didn't need that additional supplementary light. But as it turns out, multiple takes were necessary, and the sun doesn't stop moving outside just because we're filming. So as the sun was going down, the overall fill level in the room went down. That's going to be a problem when you're dealing with practicals and you're dealing with the light intervals that are going to be present at 60 watts, let's say. So I exposed for the lamp, added some supplementary fill, and then I started looking at the problem of the lamp itself. Now on the monitor you can see that everything seems to be working the way it should. In other words, I've got a nice amount of light coming out the bottom. I don't have too much overexposure on the wall, although you're going to get some of this scalloping from practical lights. Okay, this is normal, but you can mitigate some of this. In other words, I have controlled how much scallop is coming out of the top of this lamp by adding some things inside the lampshade that I'm going to show you in a minute. I've also supplemented what is coming out of this fixture with a fluorescent tube, and I like to use these little Oxy LED tubes. You can get them for 15 bucks at Walmart. But they're nice and small. I'm going to show you in a minute when I take it off the lamp what we're actually looking at. And it's pretty cool because, yes, I see the practical. Yes, it's turned on. There is a bulb inside. It's 60 watts. But it's still not the quality of light that I'm looking for out of a fixture, and I need to be able to control that. So I added some stuff. So let me show you what we did to this lamp in order to make it agreeable on camera. The first thing that I did was, because the lampshade was overexposing on camera, I added something called black wrap to the inside of the fixture. Here is a roll of cinema foil. Okay, this is from Roscoe. There's a number of different brands, but cinema foil. Okay, and all it is black anodized foil, and you can bend it and fold it, and you can mold it into whatever shape you want. I initially tried this round piece to just block the light coming out of the top of the fixture, and that was fine, but the front side of the lampshade was still too bright, and there was this highlight right here was blowing up on my histogram, and we can't have that. So I added it to the inside, and I just made the whole lampshade darker, but the fill is giving it enough exposure to where we don't really think about this lampshade being much brighter than it would be. But if I take the foil away, you can see just how much brighter that lampshade got, and as a result, the resulting highlight is also way too bright for exposure. This is what we call clipping, and you'll see it on the histogram as a predominant peak in that curve that you're seeing on the histogram, and it'll be shooting up and probably be cut off by the top of the histogram chart itself. That means that this area is so overexposed, there's no more detail in that highlight, and it's gone. Digitally, it's gone. If we were shooting film, we might be able to pull some of that back. Sometimes if you're shooting in raw profiles on a camera like a cinema camera, the Arri Alexa or the Blackmagic cinema camera, sometimes there's some detail that's still in that highlight, and you can pull it back in DaVinci Resolve. But on my GH5, the dynamic range on this camera is not that great. In other words, the number of gray values from my sensor is only about 11 or 12 stops of latitude, which means that this highlight is probably blown out, okay? And there's no way to recover from that. So what I did was I black wrapped the shade, and then I used one of these Oxy LEDs as a supplementary fixture, and I just dialed up the intensity to what I needed until I got the right amount of value on my face. And then I just used some full CTO gel, because this LED tube is balanced for daylight, and daylight Kelvin temperature is about anywhere from 5,600 to 6,000 degrees Kelvin. So I needed to put some orange gel to bring the Kelvin temperature down to match the output of the lamp. So I put full CTO gel on the tube, changed the output color from daylight 5,600 to incandescent balanced at 3,200 degrees Kelvin. It matched the output of the lamp, and then it supplemented what my key light needed to be from the lamp. You can see right now that I have the basic shape, and that's what we're thinking about. Is the basic shape there? If it is, and it's coming out of this fixture, if I can enhance this fixture in a way that will take that basic shape and just make it brighter so that I can use it with camera, and with my cinema lens that has a minimum stop of a T4, then that's all we need. So we just added some additional exposure here until we got enough for a T4 on my lens at 1/50th of a second and ISO 1600. So practicals, if they're on camera and they look real, if I believe what I see, if it looks real, if I would expect to see that kind of a light in the shot, if it seems normal to me, if it seems correct, then maybe all I need to do is take what I have to work with and just enhance it a little bit, give it a little bit of extra oomph somehow. In this case, supplemental push in my direction to make my half light a little bit more pronounced, so that there was a little bit more of a fall off, a natural looking fall off, and then I just controlled the highlight to camera with some black wrap. And that's how we work with practicals on a feature film. And you can do it too. So you can shoot in the comfort of your own home with some of your own household devices and appliances. And if you apply a little bit of the three-point lighting philosophy, in other words, key light provides exposure, texture, tone, and color. Fill light controls contrast, and an edge light if you feel you need it. Then if it seems appropriate and if it has the right output, go ahead and use it.